Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. On this week's show, I'll be joined by men's cross-country runner Daniel Cope, football captain Drew Richardson, and men's soccer player Harry Pinkerton. But first, here's a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Men's soccer won its second straight ODAC title by defeating Lynchburg 1-0 in the championship game at Hampton-Sydney. Three other teams fell in the conference semifinals. Volleyball lost 3-1 at Randolph-Macon, field hockey dropped a 2-1 decision to Shenandoah, and women's soccer was eliminated by a 1-0 count against Virginia Wesleyan. Football closed out its home schedule with a 28-7 victory over Southern Virginia. Both basketball teams won their season openers on the road. Women's hoops down Pfeiffer 76-62, and the men's team beat William Peace 100-82. And the wrestling team claimed 10th-place winners as part of a second-place showing at the Washington and Jefferson Invitational. With me in the studio is Daniel Cope, junior cross-country runner from Dallas. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Weekend before last, WNL fended off Lynchburg to win the program's fifth consecutive ODAC title. How would you rate the Generals' performance at the conference meet?
Yeah, I would say that was probably our best showing to date. I think we sort of struggled with having a very consistent 1-5 spread. But I mean, at the ODAC meet, I think everyone really blew their times out of the water from the previous month when we raced there. So yeah, I think that was our best showing.
You finished in second place overall at the ODAC championship. What led to such a strong individual performance for you down in Salem?
Yeah, this late in the season, it's pretty hard to fix, your endurance or your physical health. So I think mental prep is really what made the difference. Just having that mental strength to stick with the top pack, not question when people are making moves and picking up the pace. With a few miles to go, you just got to stick with it and put yourself in a place to succeed.
WNL competed in several tough meets during the regular season. How has your 2019 schedule prepared you for this weekend Southeast Regional?
Yeah, we've had a very intense season, I would say. We put ourselves in a lot of big meets with a lot of national competitors as well as, the best in the region. So I think it gives you a really good gauge on, who you need to put yourself up against on an individual standpoint and just who you need to make sure you're ahead of from a team standpoint to make sure we're in the top two.
What are the keys for WNL down in Memphis this weekend?
I would say just focusing on the fact that we're on an upswing right now, which isn't always the case. This late in the season, a lot of teams are dealing with injuries and sickness and just fatigue from racing. So just understanding that this is probably the fittest we've ever been and knowing that we can really cause some upsets at regionals is important.
Daniel, thanks for joining us. Good luck to the team at the regional meet.
Thanks for having me.
Here with me now is Harry Pinkerton, junior soccer player from Sewanee, Georgia. Harry, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
The Generals just won their second straight ODAC tournament title. You picked up good wins over tough Roanoke and Lynchburg teams on a neutral field at Hampton-Sydney. What led to the Generals' success in the conference tournament?
Yeah, I think it was a couple of things. I think first off, our grittiness and hunger in the final third. A couple of our goals, I think about half of them were from set pieces. We've been working on it all week. And a lot of those goals end up just coming down to who wants the ball more. Rollins got a couple in the back of the net to get us, and Harris got one. But also just doing what we practiced, moving the ball, spreading out the defense, keeping teams running for 90 minutes so that, when it's late in the game and people are tired, they make mistakes.
You've had to battle back from an injury that cost you most of the 2018 season. What does it mean to be back on the field and to be playing a big role again for the Generals?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. Going through 2 knee surgeries in the past year, definitely tough. And watching the team obviously succeed last year, being undefeated in the ODAC, winning ODAC title was great. But actually being part of the team and being an impactful player on this year's road to an ODAC title definitely means a lot more. And feels great to be back on the team, back on the field with the rest of the guys.
The Generals boast a very deep offense, 20 different goal scorers this year. You're one of 12 players on the team with at least 5 points in 2019. Why does that balanced attack make the Generals so dangerous?
I think it's because people don't really know how to deal with teams that have attacking threats all over the field. So a good handful of those people who have more than 5 points, I think, are defenders, midfielders, forwards. Everybody on the field can attack. Coach emphasizes that when you're in the final third, to go and attack people 1v1, go have fun, go and score, have a good time. And so I think that a lot of other teams that we play against might have 2 or 3 goal scorers with 15, 16 goals, and having a wide distribution of goals among everybody on the field makes it hard for teams to defend against us.
WNL will host first and second round games in the NCAA tournament, just as the team did during your rookie season in 2017. What are your expectations for this weekend?
Win out. I think that Our expectations are similar to what we had as my rookie season. At the beginning of the season, we kind of go through team goals and what we expect going forward, and we decided that Sweet 16 was probably lowballing where we should probably end up, and hopefully making it further than that this year. So I think the expectation this weekend is win out and then hopefully move on from there.
Harry, thank you for joining us. Best of luck in the tournament.
Awesome, thank you.
Now joining me is Drew Richardson, senior football captain from Watkinsville, Georgia. Drew, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
After 3 tough losses, W&L picked up a 28-7 victory over Southern Virginia on your senior day at Wilson Field this past weekend. How pleased were you with the way the team bounced back against the Knights?
I was extremely happy. We had come off 3 pretty tough losses in the conference, and we were looking to bounce back against SVU, and I think we did just that. The offensive line had a great day. We were able to run the ball, and the defense did what they've been doing all year in holding teams to little points.
You started your career as a tight end. You now have over 1,000 yards as a quarterback in the General's option system running the football. Tell us about the transition to your current position.
So it was actually a pretty natural transition. I played 4 years of quarterback in high school, and then when I came to W&L, they asked me to move to tight end for my freshman season. Due to some circumstances off the field, 2 guys left the team, and I was the only person on staff who was able to play quarterback and made the switch, and it's been smooth sailing ever since.
You're one of several seniors whom the Generals will miss in 2020. At the same time, there's a lot of young talent on the roster. What are your expectations for the Generals in the near future, especially on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I think the Generals are just going to keep rolling. We've got a good young staff. We've also got a bunch of young players coming back next year. Like you said, especially on the offensive side of the ball, guys like Kobe Kirkland, Jack Pollard, and of course Josh Brees coming back are going to be a huge factors next year for the Generals offense. I'd look to see a lot more of the big plays that you saw towards the beginning of this season again.
What would it mean to you and your classmates to beat Shenandoah on Saturday, cap off your career with another winning campaign?
That would be awesome. It definitely would be better than losing. We've kind of focused on being 1-0 every week this season, so it kind of moves forward with our trend. We're just looking to get another W.
Drew, thanks for joining us. Good luck in Winchester on Saturday.
Thank you.
It's time for a look at the upcoming weekend. The cross-country teams head to Memphis for Saturday's NCAA South-Southeast Regional. Men's soccer will host a 4-team pod on the opening weekend of the Division III tournament. The Generals take on North Carolina Wesleyan in the first round on Saturday. Men's and women's swimming travel to Pittsburgh for a dual meet against Carnegie Mellon. Football wraps up the season at Shenandoah, while men's basketball takes on Eastern in a tournament at Mary Washington, and women's hoops faces number 15 Christopher Newport on a neutral floor at Bridgewater. Wrestling will compete in 2 events in Salem, starting with the Southeast Duels on Saturday and continuing with Sunday's Star City Open. Also Sunday, men's hoops takes the court again in Fredericksburg, and women's basketball battles Gettysburg. And the second round game in the D3 men's soccer tournament is slated for Sunday afternoon at Watt Field. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.